Folks, we have with us today one of Europe's youngest unicorns. While they are new to the Unicorn Club, they are definitely not new to e-commerce. This is a company that's largely stayed away from the limelight. And you may be forgiven for not having heard about them, but I can assure you this, you'll be hearing a lot more about them from now on. They recently announced a $700 million fundraise from Bain Capital, bringing their total funding to over $1 billion and also catapulting them into the Unicorn Club. Folks, we have with us today Berlin Brands Group, or more commonly known as BBG. While the world knows them as an FBA aggregators, there is so much more to them. And today we're going to demystify the giant that is BBG. I'm Raphael, your host. Welcome to episode 16 of Datahawk E-Commerce Podcast. Once again, for this episode, I'll be sharing the mic with our favorite e-commerce expert, Pat, head of customer success at Datahawk. Pat, what's up?
How's it going, Raf? Thank you for having me.
Always. And today we're proud to welcome Malte Karstan. I hope I say it right. Head of acquisitions Europe at BBG. Malte, thank you for joining.
Hi, guys.
Hi. Maybe before we dive deeper into our episode, could you please tell us more about you?
Yeah, as you already mentioned, I'm Malte Karstan, and I'm with BBG for quite a couple of years now. And before that, indeed, there was a life before. I used to run my own e-commerce business for 20 years and sold it after 20 years to a big international company. And
to BBG? No.
No. BBG was, at that time, the BBG was not, let's say, engaged in this acquisition topic, and that's why, otherwise, of course, I would have chosen it. And, so, I've seen everything, from starting in the garage and then packing their own parcels and doing, everything from scratch, 1998, different times, Amazon only in the US and not already, in Germany or in Europe established. And
back then, Malt, when you told people you sold online, did people ask you, what's the internet?
Yeah, like this.
The internet, what's that?
Even my mother saying every Christmas and this is Malte still doing something. I don't know, but maybe it's okay. It's okay. Still take a seat. Yeah. So it was a different time, indeed. Yeah. But. I've seen, let's say, a lot in those days, and ramped it up to a dimension close to the BBGs today, and so it was quite a successful time. And right after selling it, I decided to do nothing, let's say, and start trying around.
What do you mean by
those,
nothing?
Sleeping and stuff, eating things like we've mentioned before. But of course, it's e-commerce and it's crazy times. And there were several people showing up saying, "Hey, you have time. Would you please look into it quite quickly? Give me your 2 cents about it or something." Yeah. And then I was diving into things playing around with big companies, first of all, known ones, big players, DAX concern, as we say in German, and help them to get them onboarded in the e-commerce space or improve things on their ends. And
so you were essentially working as a consultant then, Malt?
Yeah,
got it. Yeah.
Okay. That's what it is. And then the BBG, let's say, showed up as well, same situation, with the founder, I had an ideal relation, from scratch, from the first conversation, and then since then I'm digging deeper here, day to day. It's crazy, and now I'm really pretty much engaged 24/7 here, and this is something I love a lot, and I adore a lot, and. Many people here in the BBG, we come to it at the next point maybe, but it's really 1,300 people, lovely people and great people, and really evangelists.
Oh, I know, believe me, because BBG is our customer, and I've spoken with so many people from your team, and believe me, I love all of the people I've spoken with. So
yeah, that's true. Okay, that's it for some.
Thank you. That's one of the best intro we've got so far in this. So I want to hear more about BBG origin story. When was BBG established, and what was the original business model?
It's like go back 2 minutes.
Okay.
Like same story nearly. It was Peter Chayefsky, the founder and still the head of everything today and the owner today. And he back in the days in 2005, he decided to say, He was a DJing, he was DJing or something. He was in that area, and he was maybe when you think back, there was this MK2 turntable thing, like pretty expensive, and that was the only one that you could like play backwards and then scratch and things, and so. And that was really expensive, and like for all those guys who would like who wanted to start DJing or something, it was really too far away, equipment wise. So, and he said, "Is this really that expensive? Isn't there a chance to like bring this down somehow?" And he was like crazy starting thing, like DJ equipment. He traveled to China, and from like his savings, traveled to China, took a look around, visited factories, agreed certain like contractual structures, returned, started from scratch everything alone, and then employed the first people, the first guys, and really started something from scratch, like I did, and ramped it up over the years, added new brands, new verticals over time, and then we're ending up in 2015 or something, 2015, or let's go the whole way, 2020. Until 2020, he brought this one up with so many different items, verticals, marketplaces. That was really, from the very beginning, was one of his main scopes, internationalization. Today the BBG is on 100 marketplaces and shops, and really international, 28 countries. And let's say BBG is really there. Let's say there's an entity on the floor. There are like employees on the floor. It's like natives and people who are speaking the language. You cannot simply like roll out your English shop with a mirror page into Croatia and say, "Come on, guys, let's start selling things," and because it's cultural things, it's different things. You have to do different approaches for every single country. And there's a customer service that is speaking so many languages, so many natives flying around. I love to work 2 years ago together with the BBG customer service a lot, and had some projects in there, and so many people. It's crazy. It's Babylonian dimensions. There are so many people running around there from different countries, South America and Southern Europe, Northern Europe, whatsoever, Asia.
It sounds exciting and chaotic at the same time.
But it's very well organized. Really. This is what I can say.
There's a method to the madness. When you started out in 2005, Peter, you originally had your own brands, right? That's how you guys started out, not in the aggregator model, but with your own brands.
Yeah. Of course, it was like there was no aggregator idea at all.
Right. Okay.
It was simply okay. I would like to start with some products because Peter always wanted to democratize the item space. If there's a product that is nice and that is beautiful, okay, but is this really, let's say, worth a price tag 500 or 1,000 somethings or whatsoever? If you're traveling through whatever sourcing country and you see 20, 50 or whatsoever, it's crazy, and it's simply a different approach. It's about democratizing things, indeed. So, and very earlier than me, he came to the conclusion, okay, but there must be some sort of own brand, an umbrella at top of it, not just like buying things randomly, selling it because it's a great opportunity today to jump on certain trains and to fight in those ASINs with 50 others, and it's about cents and ups and downs and buy box share and whatsoever. It's really a different story if you say, okay, no, my product, I'm fully owning, fully vertical, as Peter's always selling, like BBG is a fully vertical company. from the manufacturers, like over 600 or something, from the manufacturers until the customer on the very end, like everything, like fully
I've been
owned.
reading about how many warehouses you guys are building in Europe, and these are massive warehouses.
Yeah, that's already there.
Yeah.
And still to come, right? This is like, and also the offices, you know, you cannot like steer the US, for example, from Berlin or something, like remote, you know? Of course, there are offices in the US, like Boston and San Francisco. And of course, there are offices in Asia, inbound, outbound, Hong Kong, Shenzhen. And today, it's also like you need an office in the UK as well, for example, as we have like in Oxford, because Brexit, you know, everything. It's better if you have the guys over there, like behind the new Chinese wall, like in the channel.
Right. Cool. Perfect. Thank you for that context, Malte.
Well, now BBG is known more for being an aggregator, right? Like clearly today. So could you shed some lights on this pivot? Like when did the company decide to actually move to an aggregator space and why? When is the exact moment and why?
Yeah, you're talking to the right guy. Actually, it was some sort of an older idea, let's say, in 2020. It was like on the table several times. You know, we have all the infrastructure, we have everything in place, we have that multilingual customer service, we have those offices, Istanbul, Bratislava. You know, we are spread all over the place. We have the logistics and everything in our own hands. And could this be an idea to, like, let's say, lease our capacities to others, like fulfillment solution, offer fulfillment solutions or graphic solutions or whatsoever, distribution things were always on the table. Like, like companies showing up saying, I'm strong in Germany. Could you, Europe, what's your thing?
Malte, were you essentially just looking for some kind of new revenue stream then at that point of time?
Yeah.
Leveraging your existing infrastructure.
Yeah, indeed. Like simply, or a little bit the other way around. Like it came up to our mind maybe because it was a little bit like searching for something, but also it was like driven outside in, founders approaching the BBG, saying, I was approached by someone company from the US, I don't know, far away, English-speaking guys, was a little bit weird, I'm sitting here, landside, like in my village, and it was really...
So you woke up from sleep and now you're a billion-dollar company.
Wow.
And then they came to us and saying, okay, guys, somehow I became warm with that idea maybe that selling my business could be an opportunity for me.
It just makes, it made sense. You had all the resources.
Yeah. And they approached the BBG, of course. Yeah, top 3 Amazon Europe and big player and known brands, like Karstan, for example, one of the biggest e-commerce brands in Europe. So it was... For the founders, it was pretty much clear, like to approach the BBG. There was no web page, like enter your name here or something. It was simply network or people like on a certain trade fair or whatsoever, like coming across saying, could this be an idea? My brand.
Essentially an accidental aggregator.
Yeah, like maybe in the beginning, a mix of everything, There was some sort of a, let's say, full pipeline before we started. Yeah. There was some sort of we want something, like an organic growth adding to, like speeding up somehow, like we have our own 14 brands. Could it be an idea? Like our 100 product managers are working anyway, like
do you want to go back to DJing?
Products, variations.
Peter, do you want to go back to DJing? No?
Me? No, Peter? I don't know. I don't think that he has the time. I never seen him on a Christmas party or something, like returning to the turntables. No, but maybe, I don't know what he has in mind, like going forward. He's younger. He's by far younger than me, like 10 years younger than me. So like world is open, for him, because he started that early. Like the typical, like schools and GAM. And so by me, I had a university in between and all that stuff. Yeah. So lost time, wasted time, man. And so that's why really he is like, he has his whole life in front of him, so it's but so I don't know.
So 2020 was the turning point.
2020 was the turning point, like thinking about it quite a long time, looking like taking a look around, like analyzing the space that was already there. Like it was really in the beginning was like,
should we do it?
Should we do it? Because we are so different, right?
Exactly.
Because everything you see is like, let's say, new established things, like with people most of the time that were like outside, like coming from the outside in, like from the e-commerce perspective, before bank background or whatever history, and they are like overtaking brands when founders today are fighting in those brands, giving their best, have all the knowledge about the products, everything, history, legacy, they know everything, working 24 hours, won't say that this is good, but working 24 hours and Christmas, 4 p.m., opening up the laptop, looking at reviews, something, negative feedback, I don't know, like
as startup folks, we can relate to that.
Absolutely.
That's the same. So, and then it's like handed over to some guys that are really from a different space, and we analyze the brands before the acquisition moment and after and something, and we were really like in doubts, let's say, regarding the whole idea of that aggregation of brands, let's say, because there's always, for us, it felt like in the beginning, some sort of a disadvantage. Founders, 24/7 engaged,
right?
Structure, but soon we came to the conclusion, okay, but we have all the pros. We have all the focusing guys, like there's marketing guys doing the marketing, there's customer service doing the customer service, channel management, category management, product management,
logistics,
sourcing team, logistics, and that's then in a certain stage for every single business, there is some sort of a transition moment when big infrastructure beats 24/7 engagement because it simply became too big. For one person, I'm talking to founders every day, and I'm talking to founders with that, I don't know how it's called. Out of the screen, So that's why there is a transition moment.
There was a real need for that.
Idea.
Yeah. Got it. Perfect.
So there is a need, definitely, and that's why we started end of 2020. We started that really like that new department. Was like a new acquisition department, and then this was really high level management attention on it.
Right.
Co-founder, founder, me, and then from that moment on, it was like more and more and more. And today we are, I don't know, I stopped counting. But it's really, it might be 50 or something, like people full-time engaged here, might be more.
Wow.
It depends how because there is some sort of hybrid situation when it comes, for example, to integration phase. I'm moving a little bit quickly around. That is, of course, guys who are working, for example, in the logistics team, running like across the place and docking on here with the M&A department, doing the things, returning, coming back if needed, and something. This is, of course, some sort of a big advantage of the BBG. Like that you have like endless capacities in terms of pros in the certain different fields that you can like allocate for a certain time, and then they can go back, do their things, return and something. But of course, especially here in phase 1 and in phase 2, like in those due diligence phase 2, and here pre-IO stage, phase 1, of course, those guys are full-time.
IO would be what, Malte? Letter of intent?
LOI. LOI or IO, indicative offer. Or,
indicative offer. And that's exactly what my next question's about, Malte. So because you guys have been creating brands from scratch since 2005, right? And, so what advantages do you think this gives you? Because you've been in the game for so long, et cetera, compared to all of the other 100 aggregators out there, because, you've got the experience, you've got the infrastructure, you've got the systems, processes, people. So I think part of this question you've already answered in the previous answer, but maybe if you can add a little bit about specific advantages, maybe,
You answered, indeed, you answered the rest actually now, but okay, I will try to find some missing pieces of the puzzle. Yeah, indeed. It's all about, when I'm talking to guys here, it's not like they are not catching balls, trying to like forward the ball somehow. Yeah, it's more or less, they really, I can see it in their eyes, like of all of those guys, integration, brand managers and something. They're immediately like, there's fantasy. They're immediately thinking about new variations, new styles, new somethings, because if they have some sort of a product manager background or sourcing background or something, they're immediately thinking about how to leverage things, what could be, I know this particular vertical or something pretty well for quite a long time. And it's perfect that we have this brand as some sort of a basement for our vertical here in the BBG. Yeah, this is our idea. We have this, like, let's say, basement idea. There are brands that are opening up a new vertical, and then we can quickly like build the top of it, like with our capacities, product management and something. We can quickly build a house on that basement.
I think your experience has really helped you then, in the sense, when I say your experience, I mean, the entire company as a whole, all of the people, because right now there's a war for talent out there, right? Because there's so many aggregators in this space. Everyone's looking for Amazon talent. You guys already have all of that talent because, you got into the space in 2005, right? Cool. So let's talk a little bit about, you want to add something, Malt?
I wanted to say, and it's vice versa. It's also like that we... What I see is the history and the knowledge and the and everything also creates some sort of awareness in terms of, okay, this is maybe not something we should go for because
your intuition.
We have already learned. We have already learned in the past that this is has some sort of implications,
patterns, patterns and things like that. Nice.
Whatsoever. So maybe when someone else who is not like that, lot of knowledge and history, like he can like,
they're gonna have them to make the mistakes to learn, whereas you've already learned from back in the day.
Yeah, that's why. And so vice versa, and that saves time on both ends. We are not like engaging with founders if we see from scratch that might not be a perfect fit into the BBG thing. Where I see it from sometimes that other aggregators maybe are engaging in deep in something, and on a later stage find out there's a problem.
Got it.
So and then cut off. And then I'm talking to founders that are really like, I don't want to use the word, but they say, it's too much time. Wasted 2 months, or I don't know, and something they should have known from the very beginning because, in the end, the killing moment was too many SKUs and they knew from scratch. So what the heck?
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about DTC now, Malt. So on your website is a quote from your founder, right, Peter? It says, the majority of our revenues come from our own D2C websites. And, that's an enviable position to be in, right, today. Why? Because given that on Amazon, Amazon sellers are basically just renting Amazon's customers, right? So how difficult is it today to build a successful DTC business outside Amazon? The reason I ask that is, millions of people are already visiting Amazon every day, right? But what are some of the challenges you face in trying to bring traffic to your own DTC websites, and how do you tackle those challenges?
Like it's two different things. Like the BBG is already there, let's say. It's 50% D2C, like web shop revenue, like when it comes to the whole BBG, then it's 50% from the own web shops. This is, of course, something that has to do with the internationalization, because if you're entering that many territories, you have to go your own way, because there is no Amazon, there is no local marketplace hero or something, a platform you can easily like dive in, ship your things to the customers, and that's it. And so the BBG had to do this. But of course, on the other hand, it was also done by purpose. In Germany, for example, where Amazon is strong, or in US, where Amazon is also very strong. It's still useful to have your own web shops. And today, And today I see there are millions of customers like running around in those web shops every month without big marketing efforts and making Google richer as it is already. And you know, so this is then BBG is on some sort of stage, let's say, where you should end up somehow one day if you want to be successful. Starting it, what you are asking, starting it today is really difficult. Because you're not only competing, let's say, with other web shops, with other web pages, you are competing with those marketplaces. You can enter whatever search term you want, and you will end up on eBay's or Amazon's or whatever links on the first 400 pages. So, and you know, like competing with them, it's really hard. You have to find your niche. You would have to find some sort of product or something that are maybe, you know, that would help you a little bit. And that is not that already, let's say, over or the other way around. That Amazon is full of certain products. It's 10,000. So Google is as well. So it's the same. It's like mirrored there. So. So it's all about unique products and focusing on the product side more and more and more. If you really want to step up and come into the light and make yourself visible somehow, it's really a different story. It's not only about paying and paying AdWords and doing SEO things. It's more today. It's more basic work you would have to do in terms of product things and as I mentioned already, sourcing stuff.
Got it.
Thanks. From what we're seeing, there's not a lot of aggregators out there today that have expanded to Asia. Whereas BBG, for example, for some time now has been operating there. And we know China has been setting the trends in e-commerce, like really. For example, the live video shopping. I mean, I checked that last night. Like it's incredible.
You see the guy with the lipstick?
It's insane. Like
over a billion,
over a billion.
Over a billion, in 12 hours,
So my question, I guess, is: have you bought any learnings from China to Europe or to the US? What have you seen in China that is super cool, super sexy that you bought back here and in the US market?
It's like once again, it's two different things. Like our like taking a look around and like inhaling e-commerce trends has, let's say, nothing to do with the aggregator thing. Has nothing to do with our engagement in China and our team over there. A brilliant team, brilliant guys, strong guys, and of course they are on a daily basis. They are sending in things, ideas. Some things we have our communication lines here, and of course it's there. But when it comes to live shopping, that was already, let's say, when I remember right, it was the 2019. It was already 37% of the e-commerce in China was live shopping. So we are talking about an old thing. If the BBG wouldn't have seen it in 2019 already, then something would have gone wrong, like completely. So, of course, there's always a cultural thing. Like you can see things, you can try to adopt them and take that into different territories. But still, I see there are differences, cultural differences in territories. Like live shopping becomes very popular in Southeast Asia, like Indonesia or Malaysia and something. It's maybe a different area, different story, different cultural perspective on purchasing things like customer behavior. In Germany, for example, it's those TV shopping things.
The QVC or whatever that thing is.
And things and home shopping and what's it called. And so there must be something. The problem is, the problem is in China, the young people are like going crazy for this live shopping thing. In Germany, the old people are watching.
Nice. Okay, I see what you're saying. Got it.
To bridge that, in Germany, it's like a new idea because somehow maybe we are years behind the Chinese, like waves of changes and something. Because in Germany, for example, the people start to love to live like free in terms of timings and fixed starting dates of TV shows or whatsoever. It's all about Netflix, and you can decide when you look at it and something. You can enter your web shop, whatsoever platform, whenever you want, and decide to buy it whenever you want. So maybe that was the idea in China 5 years ago. So now China is in some sort of renaissance, saying no. We fix that and give some sort of big advantage, of course. It has to come with some sort of big opportunity in terms of deduction or whatsoever. And then the people are coming like crazy. So we tried a little bit around with, I remember it was 2 years ago or something, with those live shopping things here already, when the first, platform-wise, Amazon offered the first, let's say platforms inside Amazon to play some sort of live shopping things. And so we are really close to all those trends. It's not only live shopping. There are too many different things. It's not easy to determine, was it a Chinese trend that came over to Europe, or is it a US thing, or is it even a European thing from Slovakia that I don't know, that then ran into China and came back to Europe? I don't know. So BBG is, of course, sitting on trends. We have lots of very comprehensive chats here with industry guys and e-commerce evangelists that are throwing in thoughts every day, and it's discussed here and during nighttime. I remember it because it's cross-continental, and so we are very close to all those things, I can say, and are monitoring them closely.
Cool. I think this is a good setup for the next section, because let's shift gears now, Malte, and let's talk about the road ahead, the future. So, given all the funds BBG has raised, right, you probably have aggressive acquisition targets, right, for 2022. How many brands do you expect to have in your portfolio, same time next year?
Let's say. This is a good question. This is really a good question. I would say I don't know, or other way around.
You don't want to give it away. Because we can reverse engineer and be like, okay, BBG is going to raise so much money in 2022. All right.
Let's say it's more than I expected. Our founder, Peter, said in all those big newspapers, or Handelsblatt and Financial Times and something. He said, BBG, full stop. We would like to, or we want to be the biggest e-commerce brands family in Europe.
Oh, amazing.
For example. That's what he said.
Wow.
So, and I said, okay, how many brands can you handle with your infrastructure and that not the people are going crazy. Was it this brand or was it the other one? But what I can see actually, we are close to 50 in total today, and it really feels like 1 year ago when it was 14. It's not like stretching everything, or it's people are getting confused or whatsoever. No, it's the infrastructure is simply handling it. It's
you're well prepared for your next stage of growth.
I can see it all those different communication lines, see how this is working between the different departments and the handover things and the handover scenarios within, here it's new something, please. And then channel manager is acting and country manager, Slovakia is saying, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm playing it here on platform, blah, blah, blah.
It's like a Swiss watch.
Yeah, like a Swiss watch with Roger Federer.
Thank you for saying that. So, Malt, which pillar do you in the future do you see driving more growth for BBG? Brand creation, which is what you guys originally did, or acquisitions? Which of these two pillars do you think will drive most of your growth in the future?
I think it's a hybrid idea. It's, let's say, brand building within all the brands. Because from the moment when
That's a good answer.
when the brand is coming in, there's no difference anymore.
Exactly.
If there's a new hire, I've seen it like yesterday. I looked at LinkedIn and I said, you have 13 new colleagues in the BBG. And if this new colleague, if you would like go to him and say, come on, you see all those brands, what would you think is a BBG brand? Like long history and 15 years, and what is a new one? And for him, it was hard, or for her, it was hard to be determined because
it makes me feel almost stupid about this question now.
Sorry. Had to.
So, Malte, you sell via so many marketplaces, right? Like Darty and Fnac and Boulanger, etc. And all of these guys also operate their own physical stores, right? Darty, Fnac, all of these guys. So with so many brands under your umbrella and more coming in the near future, can we expect to see BBG foray into physical stores?
I would say let's.
You don't want to give it away?
No. Sometimes it's good to be first mover. Like Amazon is actually, or it could be first mover thing. Amazon opening up stores like to bring in those fast selling goods, or to bring those items in the shelves that like cause highest return rates, people can touch.
The 4-star stores and things like that.
Like different approaches. And Amazon is, for example, trying around. The French players you mentioned, like originally came from the retail side, opened up that marketplace, and now they are hybrids. I don't know how it ends up, in terms of, I've seen it here with the German player who once started, who was a chain, and now has this, and now like it totally turned upside down. It's like 90% e-commerce today and 10% shops. Come on, give it 1 year, and then the shops are gone and they are like fully focused on e-commerce. So in this actual situation where there's such a drastic shift taking place, from our perspective, maybe not the best idea to say, here we are, the new chain on the streets. Maybe in near future, like we are checking everything and we have everything ready and prepared.
Nice.
But maybe actually today it's not the best moment.
Got it. Makes
Super
sense.
Clear.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's time to wrap up this episode, except if you have one more question, Pat, on your.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, we've spoken enough about BBG, Malte. Can you tell us what an average day for you looks like? I'm sure it involves a lot of LinkedIn posting, and I'm a big fan of, you're a LinkedIn influencer. Tell us what an average day is like for you.
Do you even have an average day? I think that's the question. Not really.
No one asked me before. The question. Would I really give that away? Okay. It's like I'm trying to stand up as early as possible. In terms of physical, like. I don't want to die because of staying up early. But like typical day starts at, let's say, maybe 7 in the morning and not earlier, because normally I go to bed maybe at 3 or something.
Wow.
So it's really short nights.
4 hours of sleep?
Yeah.
4 hours of sleep is all you get?
But that's really deep sleep. I'm really away. You could I don't know.
I don't
carry away the house or what?
Where are the eye bags? I don't see any eye bags.
It's coming. I'm 44. It's coming. So and then in between there are of course a lot of calls. With founders. This is, of course, in between. And then meetings with my team and with the guys here in the M&A department. Also with, I have several teams calls with, it's not teams then, it's Chime, but with Amazon, for example. I'm having some sort of good relation to Amazon as well for years now. And always checking back like new developments, new things, but not only with Amazon, also with other players in the market, like Alibaba and stuff. And so I'm trying to to mix it a little bit, like this new M&A focus, also this focus, like always like keeping an eye on the market and on the development and marketplaces.
Trends,
and in between, I'm sometimes post something on LinkedIn when I think it's like important to share, or it's whatsoever. Like sometimes it's funny and not all the people get it. And this is like basically. Then there is a family with 3 kids. So,
you're a father of 3 also, man. Wow.
Three.
Wow.
Not to be underestimated. That's also important. And so, trying to arrange everything.
Raf is a father of 1.5, so
I'm already suffering. I don't know how you do it, man. Like, really respect.
Yeah, but it's
it gets better. It gets easier.
It's getting better. It's getting better. If it comes to like over 10 years old kids, then it's getting better. I can tell you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for this episode. I really enjoy every piece of it.
Loved your energy.
Loved the energy. I really hope our listeners learn a thing or two. At least I did personally.
A lot.
People, if you have any questions, feedback, or comments, don't hesitate to reach out to me or Pat or Malte on LinkedIn. Please, don't hesitate to comment. We'll be back soon with another episode of Data OK Commerce Podcast. Thank you so much, Malte, again. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Malte. See you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay.